Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and wondered if it could secretly be worth a fortune? Imagine something so small, so ordinary, being the key to unlocking thousands of dollars. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that many people overlook, a coin that hides a stunning truth behind its copper coat. That coin is none other than the 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny, and trust me, what you're about to discover will completely change how you look at pennies forever. In 2009, something extraordinary happened in the world of American coinage. The United States Mint launched a series of commemorative Lincoln cents to celebrate the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. That's right, 2009 marked 200 years since the birth of the 16th president, and with it came not one, but 4 different reverse designs on the humble 1-cent piece. Each of these designs told a chapter of Lincoln's life. From his humble beginnings in a Kentucky log cabin, to his years in Indiana, to his professional growth in Illinois, and finally, to his monumental presidency in Washington, D.C. These 4 designs became iconic not just for their artistry, but for the incredible historical storytelling captured on a tiny copper canvas. The obverse, or the front of the coin, still featured the classic bust of Lincoln, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate his 100th birthday. But the reverse side is where all the magic happened. The log cabin design, the formative years, the professional life, and the presidency designs each portrayed a different phase of Lincoln's remarkable life. Now, what many collectors don't know is that these pennies were minted in multiple variations. There were coins struck for general circulation in Philadelphia and Denver. Then, there were specially minted versions in San Francisco, including satin finish coins and high-quality proofs. And right there, in those mints, is where the treasures begin to emerge. Among these 2009 Lincoln pennies, a handful have become immensely valuable due to minting errors, low production quantities, or their exceptionally preserved condition. Some were struck on the wrong metal planchets. Others feature doubled dies, off-center strikes, or astonishingly rare satin finishes from special mint sets that barely reached collectors' hands. But what really makes a coin skyrocket in value is a combination of rarity and condition. If a 2009 Lincoln cent is in perfect condition, graded as MS-69 or even MS-70, and features one of the rarer reverse designs or error varieties, it becomes a collector's dream. The coin stops being just currency. It becomes a historic artifact. Take the Formative Years design, for example. This one shows young Lincoln reading a book while taking a break from rail splitting. It's a poetic image that speaks to his dedication to learning, and it's also one of the most beloved designs in the series. Now imagine finding a version of that coin with a double die or struck in pristine condition. You'd be holding a piece worth thousands. And then there's the Presidency reverse, featuring the U.S. Capitol dome as it looked during Lincoln's time in office. This design didn't just symbolize power, it represented Lincoln's vision for a united country. And as fate would have it, some rare versions of this very design were struck with highly collectible errors, some that only the sharpest eyes and luckiest hands have ever found. But the real magic happens when these coins make their way to auction. When a 2009 Lincoln penny features the right error, the right mint, and is preserved in a flawless condition, it instantly grabs the attention of serious numismatists. Auctions light up. Bidders compete. And the final price? It leaves jaws dropping. Collectors from around the world keep their eyes peeled for these elusive 2009 varieties. Coin forums explode with photos and questions. Dealers dig through rolls of change, hoping to find that one coin, that one diamond in the rough that could change everything. You might be thinking, how does someone even find one of these? The truth is, they sometimes hide in plain sight. Some of these valuable 2009 Lincoln cents have been discovered in pocket change, in old jars, in childhood coin collections forgotten in dusty drawers. That's the thrilling part, Anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon one. It's also worth noting that 2009 was a tough year economically. The demand for coins was lower than usual, and fewer pennies were produced in some mints. That scarcity has contributed to the increased value of high-grade examples today. Fewer coins in circulation mean fewer chances to find one in mint condition. Some 2009 Lincoln Pennies are even known to have zinc core exposure errors, where the outer copper layer didn't fully coat the zinc base, creating an unusual silvery surface. Others were struck on foreign planchets, or contained missing edge details, driving up interest and price point. One especially rare and treasured version is the 2009 S-proof Lincoln cent with a deep cameo finish. This proof was minted in San Francisco and sold only in limited edition sets. Because it never entered general circulation, the coin remained flawless, and collectors fight fiercely to acquire it. Another aspect that adds value is population reports. When professional grading services like PCGS or NGC certify only a small number of 2009 pennies at top grades, those few become golden tickets. Their scarcity in high condition turns them into investment-level coins. Even the smallest detail, such as a die crack, rim cud, or misplaced mint mark, can instantly transform a common penny into an ultra-rare collectible. That's why seasoned collectors examine their coins under magnifying lenses. Every tiny feature could be worth big bucks, and when it comes to 2009 pennies, condition is king. Coins kept in airtight holders, away from fingerprints and moisture, can remain in brilliant uncirculated condition for decades. These are the ones that fetch serious money when they go under the hammer. Believe it or not, some passionate collectors spend years hunting all 4 2009 designs in MS-70 condition. Completing that full set is a badge of honor, and they're willing to pay top dollar for the final piece that completes their collection. And yes, even after all these years, new discoveries are still being made. A recently uncovered 2009 Lincoln cent with an unusual doubling on the date, and a rare reverse design fetched an eye-popping sum at a private auction, sending ripples through the coin community. So, the next time you see a 2009 penny, don't just toss it into the change jar. Study it. Look at the reverse design. Check the mint mark. Examine its condition. Because there's always a chance you could be looking at a coin worth far more than just 1 cent. Even local coin shops are now beginning to spotlight 2009 pennies in their premium display cases, acknowledging their rising reputation among collectors. The excitement around these coins is very real, and it's growing every year. Who would have thought that something as small and as overlooked as a penny could hold such power? But that's the world of numismatics, where history, metal, and mystery all come together in a single moment of discovery. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. A 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a rare error and preserved in near-perfect condition, was recently sold at auction for a jaw-dropping amount. After a tense round of bidding, the gavel came down at an incredible price of $65,000. Top 2. Every now and then, a simple coin finds its way into our pocket and unknowingly carries a story of immense value. But what if that tiny, overlooked penny you spent without a second thought was actually a hidden treasure? Today, we'll uncover the mysterious and jaw-dropping truth behind the 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that shocked collectors across America with its unique history and staggering worth. The year 2009 wasn't just another ordinary year for U.S. coinage. It marked the 200th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most revered presidents in American history. To honor this monumental occasion, the U.S. Mint released 4 distinctive designs on the back of the Lincoln penny, each portraying a different phase of his life. And among them, the coins minted in Denver, stamped with the small d, became the ones to watch. Each 2009 penny tells a visual story of Lincoln's journey. From a log cabin in Kentucky to his formative years in Indiana, from his professional life in Illinois to his leadership in the White House, these designs weren't just artwork. They were symbolic windows into history. But the Denver minted versions carried a twist that would elevate their status years later. While Philadelphia and San Francisco produced their own versions of these coins, the Denver Mint coins quickly gained collector interest. Why? Because some of the rarest errors, finest strikes, and most desirable varieties began surfacing from that very mint. And it was just the beginning. Take a moment and think about how many people passed over these coins without ever knowing what they had. Yet, hiding within circulation were 2009 Lincoln Pennies that bore traits so rare and unusual, collectors began calling them sleepers, coins that slept in pockets, drawers, and jars until someone with a keen eye saw their true potential. The D mint mark sits just beneath the date on these coins, a small detail with enormous significance. In 2009, due to lower coin demand during the economic downturn, fewer coins were produced overall, making some Denver-struck pennies more scarce and pristine condition. And scarcity is the secret ingredient that transforms coins from common to legendary. As with most valuable coins, the magic is in the details. Some 2009 D pennies have been found with doubled dies, where design elements like Lincoln's fingers or facial features appear doubled due to a striking error. Others show die cracks or misaligned strikes, adding layers of uniqueness that skyrocket their value. But it's not just the era coins that spark excitement. Condition plays a huge role too. Coins graded as MS68 or higher, mint state with near-perfect surfaces, are extremely rare for the 2009 D penny. This is because most coins intended for circulation suffer damage quickly, but a few lucky survivors remain untouched and uncirculated. Imagine stumbling across a 2009 D Lincoln penny with a sharp, glossy surface, untouched by human hands, struck with precision so perfect it looks like it just left the mint yesterday. That's the kind of coin that gets collectors' hearts racing and auction paddles rising. Now let's dive into the specific designs. The Formative Years reverse is among the most sought after, especially from the Denver Mint. It features young Lincoln seated on a log, reading a book with a tool in his hand. Some Denver versions of this design were struck with such exceptional sharpness and minimal flaws, they'd become extremely rare in top grades. Then there's the Professional Life reverse, showing Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois State Capitol. Several 2009 D examples have been discovered with minor die shifts, adding value and sparking debates among numismatists about their true rarity. And don't overlook the Presidency design, the one showing the Capitol dome under construction. A small number of 2009 D Presidency pennies have surfaced with die polish lines or weakly struck areas that have made them standout varieties, especially under grading scrutiny. Another element that adds to the mystery of these coins is the metal itself. Some 2009 D pennies were improperly plated, resulting in a thinner copper layer or unusual discoloration. These off-metal coins are not just eye-catching but extremely collectible due to their one-of-a-kind nature. What's fascinating is that some of these Denver minted coins were never meant for general circulation. Special mint sets and collector rolls preserved a handful of flawless specimens. These coins, safely sealed and untouched for years, have now surfaced in auctions and grading centers with jaw-dropping results. Collectors often send these coins to services like PCGS or NGC for professional grading, hoping for that elusive perfect score. When a coin earns a grade like MS69 or higher, especially from the Denver Mint, its value multiplies instantly. That tiny D on the front becomes a golden stamp of opportunity. Imagine the thrill of finding one of these coins inside a forgotten piggy bank, tucked between ordinary coins. One collector did just that, and after sending his find for grading, he was shocked when it came back as a high-grade MS69, nearly flawless. That coin made headlines. Forums and social media platforms exploded with excitement. Everyone wanted to know how a 2009 D penny, something most people wouldn't look twice at, could be worth thousands. The answer was clear: the right combination of rarity, condition, and mint origin can turn any coin into a legend. Even now, coin enthusiasts keep hunting. Rolls of 2009 D pennies are purchased online, unopened, for the mere chance of finding that one premium coin. The demand hasn't stopped. In fact, it's grown as more and more people learn about the hidden gems from Denver. Some of the most valuable 2009 D coins ever found have shown subtle signs like machine doubling, partial collar strikes, or missing initials. These varieties are so rare, they've only been documented a handful of times, making them prized possessions in elite collections. It's truly amazing how the smallest changes, a tilt in the strike, a shift in the die, or a flawless surface, can transform a penny's value from 1 cent to thousands of dollars. That's the beauty of numismatics, where the tiniest details hold the greatest wealth. And if you're wondering whether all this excitement is just hype, it's not. Auction houses across the country have seen 2009 pennies spark bidding wars, especially those preserved in pristine condition or bearing a once-in-a-decade era. As time goes on, fewer untouched 2009 pennies remain. Most have been circulated, scratched, or lost. That's why collectors are now offering big money for coins that seem ordinary at first glance, until they're revealed to be anything but ordinary. There's a certain magic in holding one of these coins, knowing that it represents not just a president's legacy but a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The Lincoln penny has always been a symbol of humble beginnings, and now, for some lucky finders, it's also a symbol of unexpected fortune. So the next time you spot a penny dated 2009 with a tiny D below the date, don't ignore it. Look closer. Examine it under a light. Check for shine marks, design clarity, and anything unusual. Because in your hand might be a coin worth far more than just 1 cent. The United States Mint had no idea that their bicentennial tribute would create such a phenomenon. But collectors know, the 2009 Lincoln penny is no ordinary coin. It's a gateway to history, a hidden gem, and a stunning example of how small things can hold great value. And now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. One spectacular 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a rare mint error and certified in nearly flawless condition, was recently sold to a private collector at an auction. The final hammer price left the entire room in awe. That coin was sold for a breathtaking $75,000. Top 3. What if I told you that one of the most powerful and valuable coins in your pocket might be the tiniest one of them all? Today, we're taking you on a journey into the fascinating world of the 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that millions have touched, yet only a few have truly discovered its secret. You'll never look at a penny the same way again. The year 2009 was unlike any other in the history of the U.S. Mint. It wasn't just another year for coin production. It marked the 200th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln, the beloved 16th President of the United States. To honor this milestone, the U.S. Mint created something truly special, 4 brand new reverse designs for the iconic Lincoln penny. Each of these new designs told a chapter in Lincoln's life. One showed the log cabin where he was born in Kentucky. Another showed him in Indiana during his formative years, reading and learning as a young man. A third showed his professional life in Illinois as a statesman and lawyer. And the fourth? That one showed the unfinished Capitol dome during his presidency, symbolizing the country he helped hold together. On the front of every coin still rested that familiar portrait of Lincoln, calm, wise, and resolute. But on the back, these new designs brought life to his legacy in a way never before seen on U.S. currency. These were more than just pennies. They were tiny monuments to one of the most impactful lives in American history. But behind these 4 designs, behind all the symbolism and commemoration, lies something even more incredible. Some of these 2009 Lincoln pennies became rare. Some became desirable. And a few, just a few, became worth a fortune. You see, during 2009, the economy was struggling. Because of the recession, demand for new coinage dropped. Fewer coins were produced overall, and the mint adjusted their usual output accordingly. That alone began to separate the 2009 pennies from other years. But that was only the beginning. Some 2009 pennies were struck in Philadelphia, others in Denver, and a limited number in San Francisco as proofs. But what really makes certain 2009 pennies skyrocket in value is a mixture of unexpected minting errors, premium conditions, and low survival rates in top grades. That's the formula that turns copper into gold. Let's talk about mint errors. Some of the most valuable 2009 Lincoln cents were struck on defective planchets, meaning the metal disc used to create the coin wasn't right. Others show signs of doubling, where Lincoln's fingers, jacket folds, or even parts of the log cabin appear doubled under magnification. These errors are rare and exciting to collectors. Then there's the condition factor. Coins that were never circulated, handled, or exposed to the environment, those that were kept in rolls, sealed in sets, or graded immediately, sometimes achieve what's called mint state or MS grades. A 2009 penny in MS68 or MS69 condition is a serious find. And when one hits MS70? That's where the magic happens. Grading services like PCGS and NGC have certified a few of these 2009 pennies in near-perfect condition. And once certified, these coins enter a whole new level of the collector market. Suddenly, a coin worth 1 cent becomes a coin collectors will pay thousands to own. Let's look at the Formative Years design. It shows a young Lincoln sitting on a log, reading a book with a tool in hand. That image alone captures the spirit of the American dream. And several 2009 versions of this coin have been discovered with striking errors or high grades, making them extremely valuable. The Professional Life reverse shows Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois Capitol building, holding documents, symbolizing his political rise. Some of these coins have appeared with rare die clashes, where parts of the design were incorrectly stamped. Even minor versions of this error are sought after. And then there's the Presidency reverse, with the partially constructed U.S. Capitol. This design is a favorite among collectors because of its strong symbolism. It represents a country divided, in the process of being rebuilt, just like the dome itself. When examples of this coin surface with brilliant color, sharp details, and no signs of wear, the market gets hot. It's also important to note that 2009 pennies were struck on a composition of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating. But in some cases, that plating process failed. The result? Coins with exposed zinc, showing grayish patches or off-coloring. These are rare errors and often fetch serious prices. Special mint sets and collector rolls from 2009 also contained satin finish pennies. These coins were struck with a slightly different technique that gives them a smooth, velvety appearance. Fewer of these were made, and when preserved well, they're among the top-valued Lincoln cents of the modern era. Even some coins that look normal to the naked eye might hold a surprise under magnification. Tiny die chips, extra metal blobs near Lincoln's hand, or weakly struck lettering are all signs of potential errors or varieties that push up value. So, what does this mean for you? It means you might already have a valuable coin and not even know it. The next time you're counting change, don't skip over that 2009 penny. Look at it. Examine it carefully. That could be the very coin we're talking about. Stories continue to emerge of ordinary people finding extraordinary pennies in pocket change, in old coffee cans, and in inherited coin jars. These stories aren't myths. They're real, and they're happening more often than you'd believe. The coin collecting world is full of surprises, but few are as exciting as modern rarities. Most people think old coins are the only ones worth money. But the 2009 Lincoln penny is proof that even a 21st century cent can be worth thousands, if it's the right one. The 4 reverse designs have also made it more challenging to find complete high-grade sets. Serious collectors aim to gather all 4 designs from all 3 mints, in top condition. It's a chase. A thrilling pursuit that adds value to each piece in the set. Because of the growing interest, prices continue to rise. Coins that once sold for $100 in top grades are now reaching several $1,000s. And each year, the number of surviving high-grade coins goes down, making the remaining ones even more valuable. Coin shows, auctions, and online marketplaces have become hotspots for 2009 penny buyers. Collectors constantly monitor population reports to see how many coins have been graded at each level. The lower the population, the higher the value. Scarcity is gold in this market. It's not just seasoned collectors who are after these coins. Newcomers, young hobbyists, and even casual treasure hunters are now joining the search for the perfect 2009 penny. The mystery, the excitement, and the potential reward make it a truly irresistible hunt. Some Lincoln cent enthusiasts spend hours every week searching through rolls of pennies from the bank, hoping to strike it rich. And once in a while they do. All it takes is patience, sharp eyes, and a little bit of luck. The beauty of coin collecting lies in moments like these. Holding something tiny, often forgotten, and realizing it holds value not just in dollars, but in history, craftsmanship, and legacy. That's what makes the 2009 penny so powerful. So now, we reach the big question. Just how much can one of these rare 2009 Lincoln cents actually be worth? What is the highest recorded price for one of these unassuming coins when it checks all the right boxes? Rare error, near perfect grade, flawless preservation, and strong collector demand? Well, believe it or not, a spectacular 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a rare die variety, pristine uncirculated condition, and high collector interest, was recently sold at an auction for an astonishing total. That coin fetched a final sale price of $55,000. Top 4. Have you ever held a coin that felt different, something older, something with weight, something with a story behind it? Most people don't think twice about a simple penny. But today, we're peeling back the layers of mystery and value behind one specific coin, the 1967 Lincoln 1-cent penny. And once you hear what makes this coin special, you'll never look at loose change the same way again. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation for over a century. Introduced in 1909, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait. But while most collectors chase early 1900s versions, some of the most surprising treasures come from more recent decades. And 1967 is a year that holds secrets most collectors still don't know. The 1960s were a turbulent time in American history. Political change, cultural shifts, and economic developments all played a role in shaping the country. And right in the middle of it all, the U.S. Mint made some unusual decisions about its coinage. One of those decisions affected the humble penny in a way that would make certain 1967 coins incredibly rare. At the time, the Mint had recently stopped producing silver coins for circulation, causing a wave of hoarding among the public. People were saving coins by the millions, and the Treasury had to act fast. In 1965, to discourage collecting, the Mint removed mint marks from all coins, meaning no P, D, or S appeared on coins from 1965 to 1967. That made 1967 pennies truly unique. So here's where things get interesting. Without a mint mark, it's harder to trace where the 1967 penny was produced. Was it from Philadelphia? Denver? San Francisco? That mystery adds to the intrigue. But what really makes some of these coins valuable is what happened during production: mint errors, variations, and condition. The 1967 penny was still made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, a classic alloy that gave the coin its rich reddish-brown tone. But copper is a soft metal, which means coins could be easily damaged. Finding one from 1967 in near-perfect condition today is a true challenge. But when such coins surface, they're worth a second and third look. One of the most common and valuable errors in 1967 Lincoln cents is the doubled die. This happens when the coin is struck with a die that has a slightly misaligned design, creating a shadow-like doubling on certain features, often the date, the word Liberty, or I in God We Trust. Collectors pay big premiums for these. Then there are off-center strikes. These coins were accidentally struck when the planchet wasn't properly aligned. The result? A coin with part of the design missing and an odd crescent shape along the rim. Depending on how far off the strike is, these errors can be extremely rare and desirable. Other valuable varieties include clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing due to an error in the blank cutting process. These oddly shaped pennies often catch the eye of seasoned collectors. And when the clipped area doesn't affect important features like Lincoln's face or the date, they're worth even more. Some 1967 Lincoln cents were also struck with die cracks or cuds, raised lines or blobs of metal where the die itself was damaged. These errors create one-of-a-kind coins. And in numismatics, the rarer the better. A coin with a unique flaw, perfectly preserved, can command enormous attention at auction. Now let's talk about condition. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS-70 being a perfect, uncirculated example. Most 1967 pennies in circulation today are worn, scratched, or faded. But if one was kept untouched, stored in a collection, sealed in a roll, or forgotten in a drawer, Its pristine surface could make it extremely valuable. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC play a huge role in this world. They certify and grade coins based on strict standards. A 1967 penny that earns a grade of MS67 or higher immediately jumps into elite territory. Only a few dozen may exist in such condition, and collectors are always hunting for them. In fact, some 1967 Lincoln Pennies have been discovered in red, RD, condition, a bright, vibrant finish that signals no exposure to air or circulation. These red examples are far more valuable than brown or red-brown coins. The color alone can sometimes triple a coin's value, but rarity and condition are just two parts of the equation. The third is demand. And there's plenty of demand for rare 1967 pennies. Coin collectors love the mystery of a year with no mint marks, the thrill of uncovering errors, and the nostalgia of owning a coin from the heart of the 60s. As more people enter the world of coin collecting, values continue to climb. Every year, new records are set. Coins from the 60s that once sold for a few dollars now bring in thousands. The market is shifting, and 1967 pennies are rising with it. Social media has also fueled the excitement. Collectors share discoveries, post grading results, and document rare errors. Videos of penny hunts and coin roll searches have gone viral, encouraging even more people to check their change. Some of the biggest discoveries started with a simple glance at a forgotten penny. There's also a fascinating detail about the Lincoln Memorial reverse, used from 1959 to 2008. Some collectors have reported finding 1967 pennies with anomalies in the columns, the statue inside, or the steps of the building. These minor differences, when verified, are classified as varieties, and they can bring in serious money. Coin shows and online auctions continue to report high interest in 1967 Lincoln cents. Dealers look for them. Collectors pay top dollar for the best ones. And when a rare error shows up, like a doubled die in high grade, bidding wars break out. But it's not just dealers and experts who find these coins. Everyday people, cashiers, kids, schoolteachers, and retirees, have stumbled upon them in jars, boxes, and even on sidewalks. That's part of the magic. You never know where one might appear. If you find a 1967 penny that looks unusual, extra shiny, oddly shaped, or perfectly centered, don't spend it. Get it checked. There's a whole world of possibility hiding in that copper disc. And you might be holding something truly special. Imagine being the one who finds a rare 1967 penny in flawless red condition, certified by PCGS, with a documented mint error. That coin isn't just a piece of history. It's a financial opportunity. And it proves that even the smallest coins can carry the biggest surprises. That's the thrill of numismatics. It's more than collecting. It's treasure hunting, history learning, and value building, all rolled into one hobby. And few coins embody that experience better than the mysterious and valuable 1967 Lincoln cent. As collectors continue to search, and as new examples surface, the legend of the 1967 penny keeps growing. It's no longer just a common coin. It's a symbol of what might be hiding in plain sight, and a reminder that extraordinary things can come in the smallest packages. So take a look at your coins. Look closely at your pocket change, your old jars, your inherited collections. Because somewhere out there, one lucky person will come across a coin that's been waiting over 50 years to be found. And that coin? It could change everything. Because one exceptional 1967 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a remarkable mint error, perfect red luster, and preserved in a high mint state grade, was recently sold in a high-profile auction for an incredible total. That coin fetched a price of $115,000. Top 5. Can a single penny from 1968 be worth more than a luxury car? Believe it or not, there's a little copper coin out there that has stunned collectors and auctioneers with its unbelievable value. And today, we're going to reveal the full story behind the 1968 Lincoln 1-cent penny, how it went from ordinary pocket change to a six-figure collectible. For most people, a penny is barely worth noticing. It slips through our fingers, ends up under the couch, or clinks in a coin jar. But every so often, a certain year, a certain error, or a certain minting quirk transforms that tiny cent into a collector's holy grail. And the Lincoln penny from 1968 fits that mold in a way you wouldn't expect. 1968 was a year of transition, tension, and transformation in the United States. The Vietnam War was raging, the civil rights movement was reshaping the nation, and America had just experienced the tragic assassinations of Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert Kennedy. Amid all this, the U.S. Mint continued producing coins, but some of those coins carried more than just monetary value. The Lincoln cent in 1968 kept the same familiar design introduced in 1959. The obverse featured the bust of Abraham Lincoln, facing right, along with the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date. On the reverse stood the Lincoln Memorial, detailed and iconic, with even the statue of Lincoln visible inside if you looked closely. But 1968 wasn't just any year for the Lincoln cent. It marked the return of mint marks after a 3-year pause. From 1965 to 1967, the mint had removed mint marks to discourage hoarding and ease the nationwide coin shortage. But in 1968, those little letters made their comeback, and that brought collectors back in droves. The most common mint marks for the 1968 penny were D for Denver and S for San Francisco. Philadelphia pennies once again had no mint mark. But the San Francisco minted coins, the 1968 S Lincoln cents, quickly became a hot topic. Not only were they made in smaller quantities, but some rare proof and business strike varieties slipped into circulation. It's these rare varieties, combined with errors and near-perfect condition, that made certain 1968 pennies highly valuable. Some coins showed signs of doubling, while others had misalignments, die cracks, or were struck on the wrong planchets entirely. Every one of these factors can add zeros to a penny's price tag. Among the most sought-after errors is the 1968 S double die obverse, where the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," or even Lincoln's profile appear doubled under magnification. These coins are often passed over by casual collectors, but to a trained eye, they represent serious treasure. Then there are off-center strikes. In a high percentage off-center error, part of Lincoln's face or the date may be missing entirely. Coins with 50% or more of the design off-center, yet still showing the date, are especially rare and especially valuable. Another prized error is the clipped planchet, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a misfeed in the minting machine. These clipped coins from 1968 aren't common, and when found in good condition, collectors jump at the chance to add them to their collections. There are also transitional planchet errors. Some coins from the late 60s were mistakenly struck on blanks intended for foreign coins or different denominations. These are extremely rare, but confirmed examples from 1968 do exist, and when authenticated, their value explodes. Even without errors, a 1968 penny can be worth a fortune if it is in nearly flawless condition. Coins that were never circulated, handled with gloves, or sealed in original government packaging can survive with full mint luster. These are the ones that grading services prize and collectors chase. Grading companies like PCGS and NGC assign numerical values to coins based on their condition. A grade of MS60 means uncirculated, but with marks and imperfections. MS65 and above are premium grades. And anything hitting MS68 or MS69? That's when serious collectors open their wallets wide. Some 1968 pennies also come in brilliant red, the most desirable color. Over time, copper coins darken in tone. But coins kept in pristine condition maintain their bright red hue, a sign they've avoided exposure to air and moisture. Red coins are worth significantly more than brown or red-brown counterparts. Proof coins minted in San Francisco also hold tremendous value. These were struck with polished dies on specially prepared planchets, intended for collectors, not circulation. If one of these proof coins ended up in pocket change, or survived in perfect mirror condition, they can fetch jaw-dropping prices. What's even more fascinating is how few people know what they're holding. A 1968 Lincoln cent with a rare die variety could be sitting in a coffee can, a coin album, or a dusty drawer. And unless someone takes the time to inspect it, that penny might never be discovered. Coin roll hunters love searching through boxes of old pennies from the bank. Some spend hours sifting through thousands of coins, hoping to find that one rare gem. And occasionally someone does, turning a $25 box into thousands in profit. Collectors also know that the population of high-grade coins shrinks every year. As more coins get damaged, lost, or cleaned improperly, the remaining untouched coins become more valuable. That's why original mint sets from 1968 are so carefully preserved and traded today. Stories continue to surface of people finding valuable coins and change, pennies that later grade as MS-67 or better, or show doubling visible even to the naked eye. These aren't myths. They're real. And they've made ordinary people into unexpected treasure hunters. As coin collecting grows in popularity, the demand for rare Lincoln cents rises. Every auction season brings new surprises. Every coin show sees bidders gather around glass cases, whispering and pointing at coins they never thought they'd see in person. What makes the 1968 Lincoln cent particularly special is that it's a modern coin with old-school value potential. You don't need to dig through ancient Roman coins to find a fortune. Sometimes, it's right there in the palm of your hand, dated 1968. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your journey, this is your invitation to look closer at your coins. That 1968 penny you once ignored might be the very piece that changes your financial story forever. It's not just about luck. It's about awareness, education, and the thrill of the hunt. With a flashlight, a magnifying glass, and a little patience, you could uncover something that generations before you passed right over. Imagine discovering a 1968 Lincoln cent with perfect red color, no visible flaws, and a verified double-die variety. Imagine sending it in for grading, and it comes back as MS-69. Imagine the offers you'd receive from collectors and dealers alike. That's not just a fantasy. It's a reality that has already happened, and it could happen again. Because one incredibly rare 1968 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a remarkable error and preserved in stunning red mint state condition, was recently sold at a major auction. The final sale price shocked even the experts. That coin sold for $110,000.